The first vocabulary word for lesson 5 is persistent. If you are persistent, you never give up. You keep trying and you work on whatever you're wanting to do over and over and over again, no matter how long it takes. When I was a little girl, one of the things that I did that I had to be persistent at was learn to play the piano. I started learning when I wasn't very old. I was probably maybe 4 years old when I started learning how to play the piano. And I would go to piano lessons every week and I would practice in between my lessons. I had to practice every day. I practiced, I did scales, I had to practice reading music. I had all kinds of homework basically to help me learn how to play the piano. And becoming a good pianist was very difficult. It took a lot of work. I had to be persistent. And even on the days when I didn't feel like practicing, I had to practice every day and never ever give up so that I could become a good pianist. Think of something that you're persistent in trying to do. Maybe it's climbing the monkey bars at school. Or maybe it's learning how to do a cartwheel. Draw a picture of yourself persistently trying to learn how to do something. The next vocabulary word is aid. Aid is kind of a fancy way of saying help somebody. We talked about Miss Vivian and Miss Shelley in kindergarten are teachers' aides. They help the teacher. We talked about things that we might need aid for, or people, how they can aid the teacher in the classroom. Aid is just a fancy word for help. I have a picture of someone getting aid for something that would be very difficult to do on their own. You see this lady? She's moving a chair from downstairs to upstairs in her house. That chair's really heavy, and she probably could not move it by herself. In fact, it's so big that it would probably be difficult for that man to move by himself. In this picture, they are aiding each other or helping each other move the chair. Draw a picture of a time you have needed help for something. Think of it as something that could have been happening at school that you needed help with. Maybe you asked the teacher to aid you with something on your assignment. Or maybe you asked Miss O to aid you by pushing you in the swing. Think of something that you have needed aid for and draw a picture of it now. The next vocabulary word is horrible. We all know horrible is when something is very, very bad. Horrible is another word for bad. One of the things that we talked about being horrible was the smell of a skunk. I told several of my students before that I actually have been sprayed by a skunk and it was a horrible smell. Another thing that could be horrible would be the smell of garbage. This is a picture of a landfill where all of the garbage that people have in their houses is taken to. It is a stinky place. It smells so bad this little girl is holding her nose because it is horrible smell. It probably makes her say, "Ooh." Think of something that you have smelled that had a horrible smell. Maybe it was cooked broccoli. We've smelled that in our cafeteria and we all thought it was a horrible smell. Think of a picture or draw a picture of something that you think has a horrible smell now. The next vocabulary word is presented. If you presented someone with something, you have given it to them or you gave it to them. We talked about in our classroom that I would be presenting someone with an award for Student of the Month. We won't do that till the end of October, but at least 2 people will be awarded for Student of the Month in the October We Really Shine program. And I will give them or present them with a medal. Here is a picture of somebody presenting someone else with a gift. If you have presented someone with a gift, you gave it to them. Think of a time you have had someone present you with a gift. Maybe it was your birthday. Maybe you did really good on a spelling test, so mom or dad presented you with some type of prize or gift for that. Draw a picture of that now. Our next vocabulary word is invigorated. Invigorated means that you are full of energy. One of the examples I used for you guys acting invigorated is how you react when we're walking outside to recess and I say, okay, you guys go, recess is on, and you run like crazy out there and you scream and you holler because you're just invigorated. You are full of energy. Anytime you are invigorated, you are ready to go and you feel like, oh, it would be fun to play. You are full of energy. Draw a picture of what you look like when you become invigorated after you're given the freedom to run wild at recess. Draw a picture of that now. The last vocabulary word for lesson 5 is sweltering. Sweltering is just another way of saying that you are super hot or it's really hot outside. This summer has had many days that were extremely hot or what we would call sweltering. I went to Disney World this summer and it was sweltering there. One of the things you might like to do when it's sweltering outside is go to the splash park. I bet there are several of you have gone to the splash park to cool off because it's so hot in the summer. I know Long Lake has a new splash park, and I know there's a water park in Fort Smith. So you may have done that to relax and cool off while it was sweltering this summer. I know that we talked about being able to drink something cool or cold when it's sweltering outside. When it's been sweltering outside at recess and we've come back in, the first thing that you guys have wanted to do is get a nice cool drink of water. Think of something you like to do to cool off when it's sweltering and draw a picture of that now.